Today is June the 3rd. What was Jesus' secret? Let's find out together here as we read the next paragraph. Just after the transfiguration, Jesus comes down with Peter, James, and John off of the Mount of Transfiguration. And guess what he finds? Mark chapter 9, verse 14. When they came to the disciples, they saw a great crowd around them, some scribes arguing with them. When the whole crowd saw him, they were immediately overcome with awe. They ran forward to greet him. He asked them, "What are you arguing about with them?" Someone from the crowd answered him, "Teacher, I brought you my son. He has a spirit that makes him unable to speak, and whenever it seizes him, it dashes him down. He foams, grinds his teeth, and becomes rigid. I asked your disciples to cast that demon out, but they couldn't do so." He answered them, "You faithless generation, how much longer must I be with you? How much longer must I put up with you? Bring him to me." They brought the boy to him, and when the spirit saw him, immediately it convulsed the boy. He fell on the ground and rolled around, foaming at the mouth. Jesus asked the father, "How long has this been happening to him?" And he said, "From childhood. It has often cast him into the fire or cast him into the water to destroy him. But if you are able to do anything, help us. Have compassion on us." Jesus said to him, "If you are able, all things can be done for the one who believes." And immediately the father of the child cried out, "I believe. Help my unbelief." When Jesus saw a crowd came running together, he rebuked the unclean spirit, saying to him, "You spirit that keeps this boy from speaking and hearing, I command you, come out of him. Never enter him again." After crying out and convulsing him terribly, it came out, and the boy was like a corpse, so that most of them said, "He's dead." But Jesus took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he was able to stand. When he'd entered the house, his disciples asked him privately, "Why could we not cast it out?" He said to him, "This kind can come out only through prayer." Very simple story. Jesus comes down off the Mount of Transfiguration, and we have the problem that's presented to him. This young boy has a demon. Your disciples couldn't cast him out. They were unable. Jesus expresses his frustration with the disciples. "How much longer do I have to put up with you guys?" But then Jesus looks at the Father and says, "If you believe, the demon will come out." And the man, beautiful answer, "I believe. Help my unbelief." Jesus said, "That's enough. That kind of belief is good enough." Casts out the demon. Then the disciples come to him with a question later. What was wrong with us? Why couldn't we do it? What did we do wrong? And Jesus' answer is very simple. It's not your technique. It's not about technique. It's about your proximity to God. It's about prayer. You know, in the Old Testament too, we see one who drew close to God. Let's read about him in Exodus 33.
Exodus 33, 1 through 11, New Revised Standard Edition. The Lord said to Moses, "Go, leave this place, you and the people whom you have brought up out of the land of Egypt, and go to the land which I swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, saying, 'To your descendants I will give it.' I will send an angel before you, and I will drive out the Canaanites, the Amorites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. Go up to a land flowing with milk and honey, but I will not go up among you, or I would consume you along the way, for you are a stiff-necked people." For when the people heard these harsh words, they mourned, and no one put on ornaments. For the Lord had said to Moses, "Say to the Israelites, 'You are a stiff-necked people. If for a single moment I should go up among you, I would consume you. Now take off your ornaments, and I will decide what to do with you." Therefore the Israelites stripped themselves of their ornaments from Mount Horeb onward. Now Moses used to take the tent and pitch it outside the camp, far off from the camp. He called it the tent of meeting. And everyone who sought the Lord would go out to the tent of meeting, which was outside the camp. Whenever Moses went out to the tent, all the people would rise and stand, each of them at the entrance of their tents, and watch Moses until he had gone into the tent. When Moses entered the tent, the pillar of cloud would descend and stand at the entrance of the tent, and the Lord would speak with Moses. When all the people saw the pillar of cloud standing at the entrance of the tent, all the people would rise and bow, all of them, at the entrance of their tent. Thus the Lord used to speak to Moses face to face, as one speaks to a friend. Then he would return to the camp, but his young assistant Joshua, son of Nun, would not leave the tent.
So here in Exodus 3, Moses is a man who talked face to face with God. The issue here in all of this passage is about connection with God, about intimacy with God, the kind of intimacy that Moses had with God. This entire section, after Peter's declaration, "You're the Messiah," Jesus announced his death. In the next paragraph, he announces his death again. In Mark, this forms a section. This whole section is about intimacy with God. First of all, in the Transfiguration, God reached down and said, "This is my beloved Son." Then, when Jesus cast out the demons and the disciples asked him why, Jesus' answer was, "It's not technique, fellas. It's connection." So what do we do about this today? Well, how do you get intimate with God in prayer? Practice that. Scripture reading from the New Revised Standard Version by Emily Herrera. Let's Find Out Together has a companion podcast, Salty Saints. Zach Kelly and I discuss apologetics, theology, and Scripture. You can find Salty Saints at saltysaintspodcast.com.